Zero here for Umbra Games with a review of Cat Quest, played on PlayStation 4 for the review, and also available on PC and, yeah, mobilely, on iOS and Android. Cat Quest was developed by the Gentle Bros, whose previous games include something called Slashy Hero that I wasn't familiar with since I don't do a whole lot of mobile gaming. As a hardcore gamer, I suppose I'm supposed to be turned off by a game that can run on an iPhone, but the Gentle Bros have created something really solid here. Something that feels somewhat like a Zelda game, with less dungeon design, but more hack and slashy, and considerably more loot. Let's dive in. You begin your cat life on a ship where a menacing-looking white cat in armor steals your sister and burns your boat. You end up making it to the shore on the continent of Feline Guard, where a cat spirit named Speary helps you get acclimated to your surroundings. Of course, unbeknownst to our cat hero, he's what's called a Dragonblood, awakened to help battle a race of dragons and wyverns, just like some hero cats did during the Dragon Wars. You then embark, or I guess a meow, on a journey to help fellow felines and rescue your captured sister. Cat Quest is a 2D action RPG where you move your cat with the left stick, attack with a weapon using square, and you can gain spells to map to all 4 trigger buttons. The X button will let you roll out of danger, which is often all around you. The majority of the game takes place on the overworld map. You can find villages and ruins and watchtowers that you can interact with the press of triangle. Enemies also appear on the world map, and once engaged will throw up red areas that warn you they're about to attack physically or with a spell in that area. The combat controls are actually fairly solid, allowing you to swoop in for attacks and spells and quickly move out for their retaliation. When enemies are destroyed, they'll drop blue orbs of experience as well as gold coins. You can see the experience bar in the upper left corner displaying your character progression. There really didn't seem to be a level cap, and in fact there's a trophy for reaching level 99. The best way to gain experience through most of the game is by taking some of the game's 62 side quests from the village boards as they're available. Each quest will have a suggested level, but I often found I could take one sometimes even a dozen levels above where I was. There are 52 dungeons and caves spread around the map that are often involved in quests, both side and main, with several optional ones not involved in quest lines, but in fact just there for their loot. Most dungeons are pretty simple, fairly quick affairs that are considered cleared when every enemy within is destroyed. When you're sent there for a quest, you have to clear it out to proceed with that quest as well. A lot of dungeons have secret invisible paths that lead to hidden loot, and sometimes the monsters required for clearing. Loot comes in 2 tiers, the plain chests and the locked golden ones. There's a hidden key you can obtain to open the gold chest, and it's a good idea to find that as early in the game as possible. There are 66 different pieces of gear total, yeah, trophy for collecting them all, and you can find every piece in a chest somewhere in the world. The blacksmith sells regular chests for 50 gold and gold chests for 5,000 gold, but what you get from those chests is completely random. Cat Quest employs a really neat mechanic to avoid the hassle of selling a bunch of extra loot, and yet still provides value in low-level loot. Each piece of gear, helmets, chest pieces, and weapons, have a formula, granting or subtracting attack strength, health, magic power, or armor. Each piece also has a level that uses that multiplier to determine how many points of each it will grant. As you get duplicates of loot, it adds whatever level the piece of loot was to your existing piece of it, increasing its power. Each piece of gear has a unique look, and a lot of them come in sets, including a Skull Knight set, a regular Knight, a Samurai, or a monk-looking legendary set. You can definitely notice power and survivability changes with each piece that you swap out. Armor functions sort of like a shield in a first-person shooter like Halo. It's the first place you'll take damage, and once you're out of combat, it can regenerate to protect you during the next encounter. Now, a new spell can be purchased from each mage tower that you uncover. There are 7 spells in all, of which you can equip 4 at a time, include things like a fire circle, healing, and lightning bolts that shoot to your sides. Spells take mana, which is the lower purple bar as you can see, and performing physical attacks recharges it. Once obtained, spells can be upgraded in power for gold at any tower, up to a level of 10. The dialogue and locations in this game are completely filled with cat puns. Some are clever, and some are just simple word substitution. You'll visit places like the Capital, and Feline Guard, of course, sits on the Pacific Ocean. God Catit is a frequently spoken curse word, and yeah, you get the picture. Depending on your sense of humor, you might have a few laughs, but at the very least, the game is charming. Now, the game has a definite indie or mobile look to it, but again, it's fairly charming, uses vibrant colors, and everything functions well with its collisions. There are only about 2 sets of dungeon assets that I can recall, so there really isn't much variety in the environments of the 52 dungeons you explore. The overworld map, though, does have some diversity in its landscapes. The music has a very overemphasizingly cartoon appeal. Switching to music you'd identify as boss music if you heard it in the wild, and spooky parts of the game have that same musical effect. And that's really all there is to it. It was really easy to jump into. It took under 9 hours to fully platinum the game, including a short grind to go from level 84 to 99 for that trophy, and searching some caves again for that last piece of gear that I was missing. I actually found it fairly addictive personally. It was as long as it needed to be to keep its charm, had a fun combat system that presented the occasional challenge, a cast of characters with charming dialogue and quests, a surprising variety of enemies that each had their own patterns that you could learn and exploit, and a fun variety of upgradable gear that allowed customization for both your playstyle and aesthetics, with just, again, the overall charm throughout the entire game. I could have gone for a bit more complexity in the dungeon design though, as well as some environmental changes in them. It's not hard to believe that this was originally a mobile game. For its $20 release price point for a physical copy on PS4, it definitely provided the value. Rated as an action RPG, Cat Quest comes in at an 81 out of 100 on a true 1 to 100 scale, with 50 being an average game. This is Jiro for Umbra Games. Thanks for watching. It's always a pleasant surprise to find some random game that provides a decent level of fun when you're not expecting it. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel for notifications of more reviews in case I run across any more hidden gems, or follow me on Twitter @Umbra Games.